Maxime Bernier collects maybe double digits to his campaign rally. Jagmeet Signh wants to fight back against absolutely nothing because Trump didn't put tariffs on Canada. The mainstream media is losing a hold of their current psyop. And I thought that everybody would learn from the American polls and who ended up winning, but Pierre Poilievre once again proves us that the polls are probably not an accurate representation of what Canadians want. And welcome back to the Freedom Pines podcast. I'm your host, Jamie A.B. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so I can get my voice out there in censored Canada. But I am here every day doing election coverage for you guys, reporting on what I see on TikTok, X, all of the places on the internet where I am finding things out about Mark Carney, Jagmeet Signh, Pierre Poilievre, and letting you guys know what the discourse is and what my thoughts are as well. So if that interests you, please like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So we're just gonna look at that real quick. What the You guys know the other day that I saw a couple of NDP people were like, is Jagmeet Signh purposefully tanking the NDP? No, that's the NDP's voters. The NDP itself, because, and you know what? That's very sad, truly, that it has become like a far left leaning, we're going to wear our sexual dog masks to a rally and that be okay. Like, guys, let's bring back shame. Let's bring back keeping things in the bedroom, because quite frankly, it's none of my business that these people even have that. Okay. And it was none of my business when the NDP candidate, the MP, was on live talking about polygamy. Yeah, polygamy and politics, because that's what Canadians are worried about. Right. Okay. And it's very sad to me because I'm sorry, but that's not what the NDP used to be. I used to vote for the NDP because they were for working class people. And then all of a sudden the NDP turned into one of the parties that wanted to go door to door to inject people. And I thought, wow, I am never voting for you again. I have plenty of videos why I would never vote NDP again. Jagmeet Signh is a lot of the reasons why. Yeah. So anyways, that's what the NDP is up to. And it is no good. Okay. It's very scary. Don't look into the NDP. By the way, Jagmeet Signh wants to take wartime measures to fight Trump. Trump didn't even put tariffs on Canada yesterday. So I digress. Let's move on. Sorry, just to correct myself, Trump didn't put new tariffs on, more than we already knew that were going on. But I digress. Let's move along to Mark Carney and his housing plan. So people think, and I really understand because this is Pierre's messaging too, like they have the same plan as the Liberals. How is it going to get done? Because Mark Carney believes that people are only good for providing work, fighting wars, and keeping law intact. I don't know he's going to do that because he's going to force us to do it. He literally, in his book, suggests that there should be mandatory labor camps. Guys, I am not joking you. Like a mandatory, I forget what he called it. He didn't call it labor camps, but skill training camps and labor-filled skill training camps. Yeah, because he wants us to be Okay, I don't think you guys understand how much our ancestors, because they've been trying to convince us for years that our ancestors were horrible people, colonizers, white supremacists, all those things. But in reality, our grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents built Canada. They worked hard. That's why my great-grandfather was an NDP, because he cared, because he was a hard worker. And the only people back then sticking up for the workers, actual workers, not LGBT people in masks coming to your rallies, because they had, like I'm talking about in Cobalt in Northern Ontario, people died probably daily in those mines because we had greedy CEOs come over here and exploit the land and exploit the people. And basically, I'm not going to throw this out here and say it's fact, but a lot of our ancestors were working like slaves. Okay, there's no other way to describe the conditions, at least in Northern Ontario with mining, other than actual slavery. Okay, and yes, they got paid, but a lot of the time it was not equal to what the jobs that they were doing, okay? So I really encourage people to read Mark Carney's book. I'm still going through it. It's a very hard read, but I will say if you're going to read it at 2x speed or 3x speed, because that will help you get through. But man, guys, it's been my daughter's birthday, so that's why I've kind of been a little bit all up in my own head when I've been doing the election coverage. But now that's finally over, I can focus on this and until a couple more weeks when it's my son's birthday in 4 weeks. So I digress. I'm still here. I'm just I was a little bit distracted for the last 2 days. But you guys know family comes first. So I'll be back to reading Mark Carney's book today. But man, yeah, how does he plan on getting that done? Well, he doesn't care much about humans and what they have to go through. I'm not joking when I tell you that I'm pretty sure if Mark Carney gets in, our Canada is going to look like the Hunger Games. Go watch those movies and tell me that you do not think. I have always heard of this Mark Carney character. I thought this was Mark Miller for a long time, okay? I had no idea that Mark Carney wasn't an elected official making all of the decisions for Canada for the last 5 years, which sounds very familiar to a situation that the left currently hates in America. But I digress. I genuinely have been scared of Mark Carney because I've had this horrible sense of doom every time that I hear about him. And then I've found out that he's basically one of the architects of this climate change, which actually is not helping the climate in the slightest, by the way. Because if we did actually care about the environment, there'd be tons of other things that we would be doing to help the environment. And I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but just go read his book and find out how you guys think that he's going to get all of these houses built for Canadians, since he is the person who thinks that Canada should be having 100 million population in 2050? Insane number. So then we're going to move on to crowd sizes, okay? Because there was so many people at Pierre Poilievre's rally yesterday. I was following the pleb, watching him live. And then I was watching Frank Vaughan and I saw a PPC rally. Oh my. That's it. There's Frank. Hi, Frank. That's it. That's it. And this is Pierre's. This is from Daisy Media. Oh my goodness. Imagine the days where we go back to being proud to sing "O Canada" and we are more connected than ever. I genuinely am so excited to get back to a Canada where I don't always have to be in fight or flight mode, okay? Tomorrow, I will just tell you what is going on. So, Chaperone made these comments about motherhood, how it's hell, blah, blah, blah. I upload a video saying, here's a video of me. It's me, Sky. What is it? Me. Here, I'll show you. Here's my TikTok. But this is the video I made. And it's my daughter and I ziplining over Niagara. Hold on. You'll see it. Hold on. There it is. Okay. So naturally, the lefties in those comments are telling me that I should be grateful for where I live. And when I explain to them that I don't really have money for groceries and we kind of live in fight or flight all the time. And it shouldn't be like that because my husband's salary is a lot. Do you know what they tell me? They tell me to budget better. Tell me to make things from scratch. But then they also tell me I'm oppressed and a trad wife if I do that. So I'm not one of those people that's going to be like, yeah, Pierre's going to win all the way, because I am subjected to be wrong. But I will say that if Pierre does end up winning, because there is a massive blue wave, do not be surprised in the slightest when Canadians are telling you that they can't afford to feed their kids and you guys don't give a crap. I hope this helps. The left has become every single thing that they hate. Okay. And like I said before, if you're still on the left and you don't understand how people are voting conservative, it's because you're privileged and you have no idea that people are going through hardships. And you have no idea that most of us could get through those hardships with no problem during the Harper era. And we could make whatever choice we wanted with our body and marry whoever we wanted. And we're done with this fear mongering. So that concludes today's episode on election coverage. Tell me if I missed anything, what you guys think. And thanks so much for commenting and liking and subscribing. It truly helps me live in this communist hellhole that is Canada. Have a good day, guys. Bye.